Severe tropical storm Kristine has left the Philippine area of responsibility as of Friday, October 25, according to State Weather Bureau Pag-asa. Based on Pag-asa's 5 p.m. weather bulletin, Kristine was last spotted 410 kilometers west of Sinait, Ilocos Sur. It carries maximum sustained winds of 95 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 115 kilometers per hour. It is moving west-northwestward at 30 kilometers per hour. Although Kristine is already outside the Philippine area of responsibility, Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 1 is still raised in Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Benguet, Cagayan including Babuyan Islands, Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga, Bulacan, Metro Manila, the northern portion of Rizal, and the northern portion of Cavite. Areas under Signal number 1 are expected to experience strong winds causing minimal to minor threat to life and property. Kristine will continue moving westward over the West Philippine Sea until Saturday, October 26, and is seen to loop counterclockwise on October 27 and 28, then move eastward. Meanwhile, Pag-asa also reports that the tropical depression outside the Philippine area of responsibility has intensified into a tropical storm. President Bongbong Marcos issues a slew of directives to maintain and strengthen the government response to the widespread devastation caused by Tropical Storm Kristine. Marcos assures affected Filipinos that help from the government is on its way to them and it will be brought through land, air, and even by sea. According to Marcos, the armed forces of the Philippines, together with the Philippine National Police, Bureau of Fire Protection, and the Philippine Coast Guard have been ordered to commit to relief operations in the affected areas. He also directs all members of AFP and PNP Medical Corps to join relief efforts as frontline personnel. Marcos says he has also ordered the Department of Budget and Management to release all necessary funds so that needed resources can be procured immediately. The Department of Social Welfare and Development is tasked to provide relief goods and new supplies to increase those that have been initially provided by local government units. As soon as the weather permits, Marcos says that DSWD shall mobilize the grant of financial aid under existing government programs. The Department of Agriculture is likewise directed to implement a quick planting and production turnaround plan to help farmers grow food and meet the country's requirements. The President also orders the Department of Public Works and Highways to undertake emergency road clearing operations and urges private contractors to join in efforts to restore traffic on damaged roads and bridges. Meanwhile, the Department of Trade and Industry is directed to ensure the unhampered flow of goods in all affected areas, adding that the agency is also monitoring the price control on goods imposed in areas under state of calamity. President Bongbong Marcos expresses sympathy for the victims of severe tropical storm Kristine. While commending the resilience, leadership, and proactive measures taken by leaders of local government units for their constituents affected by Kristine, Marcos says he sympathizes for the victims of the storm that battered various parts of the country. According to the President, the national government is working tirelessly to provide assistance needed by each local government unit. He also discloses that a C-130 plane left Manila at around 7 a.m. on Friday, carrying tools for satellite communication, generator sets, and water filtration units. He adds that local government personnel have been directed to help calamity victims. Marcos likewise issued several directives to different government agencies to sustain and boost the government response to the widespread devastation caused by severe tropical storm Kristine, which lashed parts of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Unprogrammed funds may be used in case the available disaster funds allotted for response efforts are not enough in the wake of severe tropical storm Kristine, according to the Department of Budget and Management. As of October 2024, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Fund has a total available balance of more than 1.9 billion pesos, according to data released by the DBM. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman says there is a pending request for the DBM to release a special allotment release order to earmark the available NDRRMF funds for the replenishment of the Quick Response Fund. She says the Department of Public Works and Highways is asking for 1 billion pesos. She adds the Philippine National Police and the Office of Civil Defense are also requesting an additional 25 million pesos and 37.5 million pesos. Pangandaman notes that the PNP is the only agency that was able to fully use its QRF amounting to 58 million pesos, adding that the Department of Education, which received the highest QRF allocation of 3.5 billion pesos, recorded the second lowest utilization rate with only 7.3%. She notes that the DepEd still has more than 3 billion pesos that can be used for the repair of school buildings damaged during the onslaught of Kristine. She also mentions that the Department of Agriculture still has more than 1.5 billion pesos worth of QRF that can be used for disaster response. Pangandaman adds that the local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Fund can also be used to support disaster risk management activities, including pre-disaster preparedness programs and post-disaster activities. Pangandaman stresses that all government departments, bureaus, and offices are also authorized to use a portion of their appropriations to implement projects designed to address disaster risk-related activities. In a statement issued Friday, President Bongbong Marcos directed Pangandaman to expedite the release of all necessary funds to facilitate the immediate procurement of needed resources in areas hit by Kristine. During the situation briefing, Marcos ordered government agencies concerned to be more creative and be able to maximize our resources. Senator Joel Villanueva emphasizes that the upcoming Senate probe on the drug war during former President Rodrigo Duterte's administration is not about pointing fingers or glorifying the trigger-happy. In a virtual conference on Friday, October 25, Villanueva says that Senate President Francis Chis Escudero ordered a thorough, impartial, and well-rounded investigation into the drug war, adding that the Senate wants to start with a blank slate with the investigation.
Gusto namin itong pagsisimula na ito ay blank slate at wala kaming titignan ng iba kung hindi ano yung makukuha namin dito sa investigation.
Villanueva says the Senate does not want to compete with the investigation of the House of Representatives Quad Committee, who is also investigating Duterte's brutal drug campaign dubbed as Oplan Tokhang. The parallel investigation that will be done in the Senate was triggered by a resolution filed by Duterte's known ally, Senator Bongbong, whose name is also being tagged in the drug war mess. But Villanueva says that the Senate panel will respect the participation of their two colleagues, Senators Ronald Bato de la Rosa and Go, during the hearing. De la Rosa is Duterte's first Philippine National Police Chief and implementer of the war on drugs. According to Villanueva, the senators just want to hear all sides of the story.
Ayaw namin nung turuan-turuan, ayaw namin na i-glorify yung mga trigger happy dyan. And when I say trigger happy, hindi yung ibig sabihin trigger happy per se, but yung trigger happy na kailangan merong madiin, merong kailangang i-contempt, etc. Diba?
The Senate investigation into the drug war will commence on Monday, October 28, which will be handled by the Senate Blue Ribbon Subcommittee led by Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel. Pimentel had chosen Villanueva to be his counterpart and to preside over the probe.